paid for sometimes. A lot of you have been really good and give us a lot of golden nuggets. But we have a gentleman here who has actually been writing graphics and STL for the medical industry for quite a while. And he met with us last weekend. He's been begging to come work with us. And so he's working on giving us the ability with a slider bar to go to the layer and then flip in the new parameter set, go to a layer, flip in the new parameter set, as well as real-time feedback on a level. So you can slide up anywhere you want on your part, and then you can play with the buttons, the control buttons for your slicer, and in real time, or semi-real time, you get to view that one level. So it'll let you get build strategies, fill strategies. I don't know, some of you guys are trying to print round circles, and I know it would be awesome for us to be able to say, hey, no motorboating, just circles. And so we would be able to pop the number wheels and see it clean itself up a little bit. And I see that as being incredibly valuable actually in the future. For us who are still blazing the trail in this quagmire of technology, I mean, what they do is amazing for what they're doing, but I mean, there's still a long way between here and where super clean G-code generation. I think what's going to happen also is no one's doing a G2 or a G3. I think we're going to be the first ones to support it that I know of. And so the G2, G3 changes any round object, because now you can literally in one instruction do an entire circle. And that makes building the columns of desire really simple. Like a cylinder is, you're done. It's one line instruction instead of what could be hundreds of lines of code. And so that cleans it up, as well as it's easy to auto-generate it that way. And because it's what it is, there's no funny patterns that go around it, because it is a pure ARC command.
Kibble asks, when do you think the new software and firmware will be released or ready for beta, Carl?
I am for sure going to send what I have to 2 people tomorrow. I was going to say someone, but I know who the 2 people are. One guy is in Seattle, so he knows who he is, and the other guy's on the West Coast. And both of them will test it for us or help find it. During this week, I expect to have it, so we'll go back and forth for several days, I'm sure, and then we'll release it. So I'm hoping this is the week we release it. I'm thinking that that's a realistic goal. And Lord knows it's going to be a major party around here. So I'm talking pizza. That's how serious I am. And mellow mushroom pizza, so it's good stuff. Anyway.
Let's see. Powers USA asks, will you be giving back any improvements to back to Repetier host? And the answer is we have been.
Well,
yeah, we have. I mean, you have been.
Let's be clear. I haven't sent any code back to them,
no,
but they haven't communicated with us at all. I wrote them something last year and thought I would actually meet them. They're in Germany. And they were more than friendly enough. But when we realized the way that the incompatibility between the architectures, it became obvious that we wouldn't be able to keep it for a long time. I will be happy to share anything that makes sense. In other words, if there's some feature that someone wants, I'm happy to grab code snippets and send it back. The architecture of the stuff we've been doing probably won't work so well in their overall package as a whole. But I mean, let's be honest, I mean, without their work, we wouldn't be anywhere near as well as they are. Repetier for the visualization slicing interface, albeit with whatever it is, put everybody way far forward. So I want to give them credit where credit's due. On the machine design control side, not quite the same argument, but for getting stuff sliced and visualization, I thought they were fantastic. They really helped a lot. I mean, they took 95% of the burden off of us for there.
Yes, they did.
So God bless you guys.
Yes, Powers USA, Repetier host is definitely going closed source. For those people who don't know, everything that is beyond 0.90 is now closed source, and everything before then, which is what we were working off of, which was 0.83 to 0.85, is they're just leaving out there as open source.
Yeah, I haven't even downloaded their code in over a year now.
Yeah.
So
the last time we checked it,
I can't
we keep getting updates.
I can't branch it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't fork it back into itself. We don't have the resources for that. Nor would I try it. I think our path is set. We already know what we're trying to do with the machine. We see clearly how what needs to be done and how we have to proceed with that. So,
Yeoman asks a great question though.
what's that?
Did you check the new version of Slick 3R or Slicer?
No, I hear there's a new one out, and it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
I hear it's yet another improvement.
From Release Candidate 3, which is the one that we've liked. We've told everybody Release Candidate, like the Slicer 1.0, RC3 or Release Candidate 3 was actually pretty darn good.
Okay.
So, but it seems like right now I think they just came out with a stable and also an experimental version of it. You guys are more than welcome to download them however you want and look at them. Obviously use them. But we have not had any stick time on them at all. So, but thank you. Yeah.
Cool. So,
yes, David. That's the version 1.1 beta is the experimental version. So.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonder what they did different there.
I think they added in a few more features. I think there was like a linear gap fill and something else that was like what we've been talking about. Actually, strangely enough, the things we've been talking about.
God bless them. I like it better if they do our work for us.
Yeah. Less Music says version 1.1 is pretty interesting, but does have a little issue with top fills. Interesting. One thing about the top fills is that you probably already know this, but for everybody else who's watching, for 300 micron prints, 2 top fills is pretty good, bare minimum in my opinion. For 200 microns, you need at least like 3 to 4, and when you get down to 100 microns, it's at least like 4 or 5. So otherwise, it's not going to fill. It's not going to fill in the top. So I'm not sure if that's what you found as well. I remember us talking about a little bit about that offline, but yeah, that's been my experience. So everybody else here knows. So and that can be found in your print settings. So yes, thank you, Carl.
Another thing that arrived this week, which we will be glad to send to those of you guys that have heads, is the better springs for the compression bearing in the NK ones. I knew we had to sit down here. That was the thing that was driving me nuts. We put it out here, and I couldn't remember what it was. There you go.
Yeah.
So
these guys, yeah.
They are the correct stiffness and height that you will probably get excellent performance out of them. And they don't stick out too far, so you're able to stack your heads.
It saves my fingers too, by the way.
Very nice. The old finger save trick.
Well, instead of having to go out and cut them all the time, which, as you guys can see right there.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice big cuts. Okay. Les says I run 4 to 6 top fills almost all the time. So yeah. So anybody who wants to go inside their slicer settings, in the print settings, specifically the very first one you'll see underneath horizontal shells, the top, you can edit them there. So, version 1.1 has a spacing issue between the lines on the top fill. Interesting. Okay, thank you, Les. I wonder if it's an algorithm thing. Well, it is the experimental version. I would love to see what really get into their algorithm and see what they've done. So, but okay, David Kibble, any chance of a cover instead of the little PCBs?
Maybe someday.
Like,
yeah.
Right there. You mean this part?
No, he's talking about for the MK1 that holds the spring in.
Oh, okay.
We actually had another plan for the PCBs, that's why we were using them there, but we're not sure we're going to use it or not, so it was a test. And they were functional, so we're not worried about it at the moment. But well, keep reminding me. I might put that in some future build change.
Okay, thank you, David Kibble.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Oh, he said he'll design one.
Yeah. Good.
Well, you could print. Yeah, you could definitely print off your own your own version.
I think he's thinking of a metal cover.
Oh, you can do that too. If you're going to design and make your own. I mean,
yeah, the idea was to put a clear or a sensor on there, and we were actually going to do some detecting of what was going on inside. So that's why we were testing having a board mounted with a little wire that would go up to a 2-pin plug. And anyway, I don't want to tell you too much because I don't want to kill you. But
let's see.
I get in trouble from him if I give you too much information.
That's right. Let's music. I really like the new improved fill where needed function inside of Slicer.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll take a look at it. We'll definitely jump in and take a look at that.
Yeah. I mean, some people are using Kiss Slicer with great results. So I'm sure that we'll have to go and look at how to post-process their code so that it's much friendlier. I've just had almost no luck with Kiss Slicer. Every time I use it, something is not right.
Yeah.
So
it does have a few issues.
Could be operator error.
Well, you know that. Well, heck, I think they made it for one particular. When they first started, it's just like Slicer. They made it for one particular printer, and then everybody else kind of conformed to it a little bit. So, Power, as you say, what's on the list after software? Manual feed sensors? Oh, that's a good question.
You know what? We have so many things at Parallel right now, so it's hard to tell you what's on the list without having a few minutes for us to go and figure out what we're willing to release.
Yeah.
So in case you guys wonder, it looks like we're not doing anything. Matter of fact, it looks like we're not even showing up for work. I can see that. But trust me, we're doing a little different vector here. Before we were sharing everything with everybody, and then other people with more resources were actually completing our ideas before we did. Fact. So what we're doing is we've got several patents that are cooking, and we have a couple of really, I think, quantum leap forward in printing. But as we've said before, you know, we've got to get the basics down perfect, and then we'll go to the next thing. But don't think that no one's working. I actually have a team of over 9 people right now on 3 continents working on stuff for us, and that group of people is doing some pretty cool stuff. Stuff that involves lasers, stuff that involves photosensitivity, stuff that involves coordinated builds between multiple machines, stuff that involves large-scale modular manufacturing. And that's as much as I can say without him beating me up. Probably it's already, oh, he hit me again. But truthfully, there's a lot cooking. So don't think that we've gone to sleep at the wheel. We're not. And you'll like to see what's coming out.
Yeah.
We have 2 primary release dates. One's this summer and another one's in September. And so those both will have some pretty big advances.
Absolutely.
And anyone who bought a System 30 is going to be so happy they did. I'm not going to say why.
That's good.
All right.
Okay.
No, he won't. He's going to get me. Anyway.
Got my finger on the kill switch.
Yeah. All right. So.
All right. Any more questions that you guys have for today? Let's see. I'm trying to think.
I'm good. I'm ready to go back to software. So. Yeah. And I mean, we love talking to you guys. You can tell some evenings I'm really in the mood, and I'm not going on with stories about my grandmother. But the bottom line is when you're in programming mode, you're in programming mode.
Yep.
And we're totally in programming mode. So.
You want me to ask, are you going to be doing more Kickstarter deals or just off website? Oh.
At the moment, we're not planning any new Kickstarters. We have a different philosophy.
Finish this one first.
Yeah. So, but Kickstarter has a purpose. As we've had this discussion many times, so I'll share that with everybody. It's not about funding, because obviously what we got is not what we spent. God bless Bosch. We love you. All right? We spent now $3 for every dollar we got out of the Kickstarter. But that's not the point. The idea is that Kickstarter allows you immediate validation of a product. And that's really hard to get any other way. What we would like to do when we release the next technologies, and there are 2 new parallel technologies coming out that we know of, when it's fully functional and when 5 approximately of the current enthusiastic print people are working with us and they say this is great, we might actually do a Kickstarter as kind of a initial sales campaign or something. I don't know if that breaks their rules of engagement, but it's great because you have worldwide coverage. And now that the manufacturing food chain is getting better and better, it might actually be a successful Kickstarter for us from a time delivery. So we're not talking about any new Kickstarters at this moment, but that would be a possible venue for us in the future.
Mr. Kill asks, did you have any luck with my twisted G-code?
I did not try to print it, David. I'm sorry. I have been from 3 a.m. until I can't stand up anymore each day the last few days just on the code. And that's the reason we're getting what we're getting. I didn't even have the guys come in yesterday. So I just wanted quiet and focus. Hutch came in and went and did documentation on how the variables were relating and documented how the whole integrity of the system set up. We've done that a couple times now. That way we can share how the architecture is between the 3 projects.
Yep.
We're working in 3 different IDEs at the same time, or 3 different versions. One Visual Studio, one Kukox at 1.51 and one Kukox 1.75. So we have 3 computers running at the same time to do this. It's not like it's just, oh yeah, a couple lines here or there. That's what's the tedium of it all. But I think the architecture is now cleaned up enough that I could share it with someone like Jim Powers or Les Music or Ken Rosinski, and I'm pretty sure they would be able to make some progress with it. And that's really what we're trying to do, is get it to this stage.
Oh, no problem. I think it may be the airflow direction from the fan. We'll keep working on that to verify. Oh, if it's the temperature that's dropping.
No, it's the twisting.
Oh, okay. Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing that popped up this week I'll share with you guys. Davo was printing like a fool. It was amazing. And then he comes to me and says, this darn thing won't print. It keeps dropping temperature. And I said, really? Let me look at the code. So what was happening was somebody accidentally put the hotbed temperature of 100 degrees in the hot head. So the M104 became an M140. A little less Dixit there. And so the machine was doing exactly what it was told to do. But that brings up a good point. So I'll pass this off to you guys. And I don't really care if Hutch beats me up for this, because I think every printer should have it. I already scan it and figure out what the print time's going to be.
Yep.
So what I'm going to also do is give you back a warning, or at least advice, as to what the print temperature is going to be. And if I see the print temperature as outside of some certain limits for the material selected, we will announce, hey, maybe your temperature is not appropriate for the material you've selected. And that makes perfect sense to me, and it will solve this dilemma. Because if you have a head that gets cold, it stops, it could eat through the plastic, and then you got to go and clean it out. And I'm going like, we could avoid that. This is one of those things we should catch. So just letting you guys know on the job on that one. Sorry about that.
As you say, says, I purposely have not pinged you guys, hoping to not interrupt.
And we appreciate it. And I'm assuming you want to be one of the first guys to beta test this software, seeming that you're being in that profession. So let me work with Les and Greg, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that, I'll open the group up to 5 more people. And then if that goes well for 3 or 4 or 5 more days, we get it so it looks like it's solid, then we'll release it to everybody else. So there's the plan. Cool. In the meantime, I've got to go.
Okay.
So if he wants to field some more questions, or he's got to go back and do the taxes now.
Yeah.
Taxes? It's only the 13th. Why are you thinking ahead like that?
So, yeah, taxes are so much fun. If you guys haven't done it already, remember the cutoff date is April 15th, as everybody knows.
I thought they extended it this year.
It was last year they extended it because the 15th fell on a weekend, and they gave like everybody to the 17th or 18th of this past year. So I'm not sure if they're doing that again this year. They may, but if you haven't already, and if you guys are caught behind, file an extension. TurboTax can do it for very, very cheaply online, and you can also e-file for basically nothing. So.
Oh, Yeoman, the major change fix is the acknowledge codes fix. The second one is that the prime unprime works. All right, so your part's going to take a quantum leap in improvement and reliability on the print. Those two things are for sure. You're going to see that the GUI interface is much better, and I've implemented and looks good the real-time fudge factor manipulation, which means you can actually change the flow rate coefficient while you're printing. So you can dial in, if you have different material, you can take it down or up a little bit to let it adjust to match up with the material that's coming in. Those are three of the biggest ones. The other one is we've made it a lot easier to share G-code and stuff via email. I think that's good. The visualization is much better, and it's the next step towards multiple material prints that are coordinated. Once we get this feedback from that, that will be the very next thing, and you'll like to see how the calibration and all that works together. Let's see. Mr. Kibble, I will be happy to put you in on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you going, Jay? That's cool, man. I didn't know that if you give your federal refund to the Amazon gift cards, you'll get 10% more back as a bonus. That's nice.
If I had a refund. You see, you have to make money to pay taxes, and I have screwed the system royally on that one.
Well,
with pride. Don't worry.
You spend it on business stuff, so.
Yeah, I do my share to pump up the economy. I just do it the way you're supposed to. I spend it. So.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to sit on that golden egg. You're supposed to go out there and do something with it.
Let's see, Yeoman, less cleanup would be nice. Less cleanup would be nice. Doing quite a bit of steel bending models and lots of holes to clean.
I think you'll enjoy the next release a lot then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Les Music asks, he says, I assume no Skype session today?
No. I will talk to you tomorrow.
Okay. Cool.
So.
Alright, guys. I think we're going to call it. So if you have any questions, obviously reach out to us via our website, via HYREL3D at gmail.com. Back here, I just messed that one up because live on camera is fantastic. So there you go, guys. There's the email if you have any other questions, and we'll be here, ready to help out however we can. All right. Oh, thanks for the new time, guys. Okay. Oh yeah, that was one last thing. Does everybody enjoy this time?
It's easy for me. I'm still awake, actually.
Yeah. Well, me too.
You guys can tell because I've been going to bed like 8 or 9 o'clock at night every night because I'm up at 1 to 3, and I gotta be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have people so many time zones.
No coffee too, so.
Woo!
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly.
Good job.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, 1,000 thank yous, you guys. We love all your positive energy and your support.
Yes,
and
thank
we're
you.
going back to the dungeon for more coding.
All right,
So
guys.
blessings on all of you. Have a great day.
All right. Good night.
Bye. Yeah, actually this time works great.
Oh yeah.